Nova Rock is the biggest festival in Austria, and I was wondering, like, how different is it to any other festival on the other continents you've played?
It's great. I mean, this is one of my favorite festivals to play. One year we did it with Il Nino and Pungent Stench on like a little side stage, and then last year, or the year before last year, we had the big windstorm. It was us and Slayer on the red stage, and it was insane to see the enthusiasm, even during a really bad storm. You know, people were so happy to hear metal and hardcore music. So it's a great reaction. I think compared to everywhere else, I think it's just as good, if not better. And we've done, you know, festivals in Australia and America and Canada and all over Europe, England. So I think this is one of the best, if not the best. It's one of my favorite.
You have a million hats on: HATEBREED, Kingdom of Sorrow, your clothing line, your label. How do you avoid spreading yourself too thin?
Well, I was a little burnt out on the music industry the last couple of years, so I stopped doing the label just to kind of get my life in order, and that was a good thing. It was very nice to have a break from that. But we kept the mail order open, and we did Hateware, and I helped out Crowbar with their album, and I helped out a band called Defiler, and I worked for another company which actually I helped sign a band called Such Gold, who are like a more of a melodic hardcore band. So I was still doing things behind the scenes. I just wasn't on my label. Okay. I did different projects with different labels, but that was nice because I needed to focus more on, you know, sponsoring MMA fighters with Hateware, and I had a bunch of guys fight in Maximum Fighting, which is in Canada, and also in Legacy and in Titan Fighting, and I have a guy fighting June 22nd, which me and Danny from Biohazard are going. I sponsor a guy in the UFC, so Chris Camozzi is his name. He's a beast. He's a good submission artist, and so I've been able to focus more on that and sponsoring, you know, fighters, and also just doing the new HATEBREED record because, you know, I needed to put my focus back into that, and that's going to come out hopefully at the end of the year or maybe in January.
Do you still write riffs on acoustic guitars?
I did. Not for this record. I only did one or two. We brought it down. It was in the studio in Massachusetts, and we brought it down to the studio in Connecticut just to kind of have as inspiration, because I wrote, you know, like I Will Be Heard and Live for This and a bunch of songs on it. You know, we jokingly have the guitar around still, but it's gonna be 20 years old soon. And my father, when he was in the hospital, he actually brought that home for me. It was a guitar that was used to help rehabilitate veterans, so it has sentimental value. But this record, I wrote a lot of the stuff on my I still use an Epiphone Prophecy. Chris, our bass player, gave me a great Jackson signature bass of his, which if anybody wants to get that bass, it's got our maces on the inlay on the fretboard. Okay. It's really nice, so you should check out Jackson guitars, and that I wrote a lot of bass lines on and stuff. So, but you know what? When you do write on an acoustic, if it sounds heavy on the acoustic, it's going to be really heavy when you get it on an electric. So it's still fun to jam on it. You know, it just helps you prepare for the next situation. I always feel like any sort of tragedy you face in your life is probably the reason, or the silver lining you should see, is that it helps you prepare for the next one. I don't think we're ever gonna be in the clear as far as stuff like that, especially as you get older. Like my father's father just passed away actually this past year, and that was also very hard, especially when someone's in their dying days, in their last days, and you have to surround them. We had all family flying in from all over, but I felt like I was more experienced, and I felt like I was able to deal with that in a better way and help other people with their grief from, you know, having to bury my mother's father. So, and you know, again, this was in the Veterans Hospital where my father was once locked away, you know, from post-traumatic stress disorder. My father was in the Veterans Hospital. I used to visit him there in the psychiatric ward. So it was a lot of, you know, emotions brought back from when I was a teenager, but I felt like I was there to, you know, be strong and help other people with grief. And anytime you can write a song from, you know, one of your life experiences, I think that then that's a positive thing,
yeah,
you know.
Definitely.
And we play, you know, we play Hands of a Dying Man, we play Last Breath, we play songs that are inspired by grief, and it's still very cathartic. It's a good therapeutic experience just to scream your head out and get on stage, and the kids get, you know, the people in the crowd get that experience too.
What is the status of your book project?
My book's just been on hold because of various red tape behind the scenes, but I've been writing, you know, throughout the last 2 years, really trying to finish it and really trying to get something happening. I would really like for it to come out next year, but there's a good chance that I'll have to change some things around behind the scenes, and you know, when I go home, hopefully I'll meet with my attorney and see. You know, some names might have to be changed, some things might have to be worked out, but we'll see what happens. But it's going to be very interesting when it does come out, yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Well, hopefully we'll do a version here, then, you know, we'll translate it.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
Translate it into German, that'd be nice.
Yeah, for sure.
When was the last time you've destroyed a hotel room?
Not for a long time. I don't want any more bills. That's, you know, that's a good thing about not partying and not going crazy anymore, is that it's very good for the bank account.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't, you don't see it going like this every day.
Drastically
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You know, and you know, my daughter's 13 now. I don't want her. She doesn't have any memories of me being an idiot.
Okay.
So I want to keep that.
Yeah, okay, brilliant.
You know, she was very little when I was being an idiot, so.
Yeah, okay. What is your favorite curse word, and what do you think about like curse words being censored?
I think the whole censorship thing with curse words is pretty stupid because, you know, it's just a form of expression, you know what I mean? I don't really find them that offensive. My sister has 3 kids, and they're very young, and obviously we don't allow them to go around being like, fuck you, motherfucker, you know, but, you know, sometimes when you're angry and you need to express something, like I tell them to say, you know, like, oh, heck, or oh, darn, you know, we say different things. But on records and on albums, I really feel like there's no point in having the sticker anymore. It's like we don't swear on a lot of our records. On Supremacy, there's no swears. And on Rise of Brutality, there's, I think, 1. And on Perseverance, there's 1. But on this new record that's coming out, there's a lot, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of F-bombs on the new record. Yeah. We'll see. It depends what kind of mood I'm in. But I don't really mind. You know, I just did a song. I like a lot of Christian bands, and I just did a song with POD. And I don't think they swear on any of their records, you know, whatsoever. So some fans of ours might not like some of the swearing on the new record, but, you know, it's all how you look at it. I think if you look at it as a form of emotion, sometimes you want to express your emotion, raw feeling, then it's okay.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Jamey Jasta here on MULATSCHAG, and it's the only TV show you really need.